door knocking intention and purpose. When someone says, "Who are you? What are you doing? Who do you work for? What is this about?" How do you respond? Because if you're saying the same thing as every other person going around doing solar, you're going to get put right into the solar bucket and kicked to the curb, and it's game over. So how can we respond to these questions, and how can we explain what we're doing, who we're doing it with, and why we're doing it? How can we explain it in a way that's different than everyone else going around doing solar? Well, first, I want you to ask yourself, what do most people say when they're asked those questions on the doorstep? "Oh, I work for XYZ company that you've never heard of. It's this name that literally means nothing. And we're doing some of the solar projects in the area. We're doing it for the neighbors," right? Like, you're toast, game over, done. It's over. What I need you to understand is that what you're doing is actually different. And you need to be able to hold that frame that, yes, you're not the same as everybody else, to the point that you can communicate, yeah, I'm not doing what they're doing. What I'm doing is different, and here's why it's different. When you understand on a deep level that your purpose for being there on their doorstep, speaking with them, is different, you'll be able to communicate that smoothly and effectively without triggering sales resistance. If you have the same purpose as everyone else, which is, yeah, we're just going to get you a solar quote and run you solar panels, like, there's literally nothing different about that context. And so the behavior, there's no reason for them to change their behavior. And you're going to hear me say this a million times. If you change the context, you change the allowable behavior. Now, how do we change the context? Well, what we need to be doing is different. We need to have, the situation needs to be different. What we're doing is different. Hey, the situation with the electric company, electric rates, electric prices, the power grid, the government, the state government, incentives, something has to be different so that they have permission to behave differently. So why should someone who's been knocked 100+ times for solar decide to go solar now with you? Because something about the context is different, and you are going to know how to communicate that in a way that helps them see that, where it's believable, where it's real, where it's actually genuine and authentic. Yeah, something's different. Here's why it's different, and here's why you can now behave differently. You have permission to now go solar now with me because the context is now different. So when people ask me, like, who are you? What are you doing? Who do you work for? Like, one example I think is really good. There's this sales team called Empower. I don't work for them, but on their shirts it says U.S. Renewable Energy. Like, that's freaking awesome, right? Because it's vague. It kind of tells the homeowner what they're doing, but at the same time it doesn't, right? Like, it sounds like something that maybe they should know about, so like something that's actually important, but you're not really sure. There's enough vagueness that you can help them understand what you're doing. Whereas if you just say some company name, like, I won't name any, right? But just some of the 1-word or 2-word solar company names, and you say, yeah, I work for this solar company, they're going to fill in the gaps themselves, and they're going to fill it in a way that they're going to make all these assumptions about you and what you're doing. So if you don't have a company that has some sort of somewhat vague but specific name, I'd recommend starting one and working for, name your LLC something like that, right? Because what it'll do, it'll help you communicate in a way that says, hey, this is important and this is different. This isn't just some gimmicky solar company coming around trying to give everyone solar. So what's the frame that I'm holding on the doorstep that's not solar salesperson? The vibe I go for is contractor, construction foreman, utility man vibe. I'm not wearing a polo shirt with the company logo on the chest. I'm not wearing the pumped up kicks with the Nikes and that. Like, no, like, I'm rocking some boots, some Carhartt pants, plain t-shirt, no logos. I got a Carhartt baseball cap with some like orange bomber glasses on the top. I got some like gloves hanging on my hip. Like, I'm more of a project manager. I'm involved in construction and on-site generation projects, right? Helping install those on homes. Not, oh, I'm a solar salesperson, I'm going to sell you solar and I'm going to take your money. No, like, that's none of that. My job, right? So what are you doing? Well, my job is to qualify homes to see which ones can support like one of the programs that lowers utility costs. There's a variety of different programs. I'm not sure which one would be the best for you. There are different names for the programs, right? On-site generation, net metering, self-generation, whatever you want to call it, but you don't call it solar, because when you say solar, what do they hear? Whatever they're hearing is incorrect, because they would have already gone solar otherwise, in most cases. Check out the video on the saturation series on, is this like how we respond with if we're actually doing solar or not, because it's different, I promise. Also, like my company, we just do the assessments for the on-site generation program. I don't have like solar panels or any on-site generation equipment in my car. Like I can't come put that on your house. I literally run a report. I see if you're even eligible to produce your power on site. You might not be. Some people aren't. To see if that's even possible, I'd have to see your electric meter, your electric service. Do you know if your electric service is 100 amp or 200 amp? Okay, let's take a look at that real quick. And then how much power do you use? Yeah, let's check that on the electric bill as well. I'm completely detached because I just get paid to do the assessments. Whether you do it or not, I mean, that doesn't matter. I love to help people. I'm passionate about helping people, but if it's not going to help you, I don't care if you do it or not. But if the property is eligible to produce your power on site, then I can help you submit an application. You wait to hear back. If you get approved, then yeah, it'll lower the electric cost 30, maybe 40%. If it helps you, I'll walk you through that application. But I'm not there to sell them solar. I hold this frame. The way I actually see my job is to see if your property is even eligible to produce power on site. And if it is, I'll leave you with the info. I can help you submit an application. And if they approve it, if they say yes, then, I mean, your electric costs go down. That's as simple as it's a discount on your electric bill for producing your power on site instead of out of state.